This week, we're helping a family make some changes to create a more intentional home office.
So I needed a separate space, and the closet was available.
I've been helping homeowners improve their home for a lot of years. They think it's intimidating, but it actually can be a lot of fun.
And we're here to help. Dad's the expert, but I've learned a few things along the way.
Practical, realistic home improvement information is what today's homeowner is all about. This house belongs to Anthony, an engineer, and Renee, a teacher.
We've been married for 10 years. We've got 4 kids.
Closer to like 12.
12 years, sure, whatever.
We have 4 kids. Mackenzie's 11, Gavin is 9, Chloe is 3 going on 32, and Sydney is 1.
We picked the house because of the neighborhood. It's a fantastic subdivision. Kids can go out and play pretty much whenever. I've got friends in the neighborhood. It's been about 6 years since I've been working remotely. So I've always needed a little bit of an office space inside our homes. In the previous house that we lived in, I actually had a desk in the master bedroom and didn't really want to be in the master bedroom for 16 hours a day, you know, between sleep and working.
I would come home and I'd be like, I want to go to bed. And he's still working.
So I needed a separate space, and the closet was available. Let me show you guys to the cloffice.
I love that term, the cloffice. Makes sense. You've got an office and a closet. You know, I actually like that name, cloffice. Just think about how many times you could use that, especially these days where so many people are working out of their home.
Well, usually it's a small space in a hallway where the door opens and there's your desk.
Yeah, he's got plenty of room in there.
Got it made.
But you have this large house. What about bedrooms or somewhere else other than the closet?
Oh yeah. So when we bought this house, we had 2 kids, the third on the way. I actually started in one of the bedrooms and actually shared the space with the third child when she was born. So I had a desk on one side and a crib on the other side. And as soon as we outgrew that and the 4th was on the way, we had to pick a different spot.
You got pushed to the closet.
Pushed to the closet.
Kicked out. I'm surprised Renee let you share her closet space then.
Yeah. I'm okay with him having that space as long as it's not in the bedroom.
Well, I'll tell you something that might be good is a little bit of natural light in here. So maybe a window in there. Doesn't have to be a big window to give you a lot of light in here.
Yeah, natural light would be awesome in here. It feels like just a tight room that's got 4 walls and a light bulb. So it feels like a dungeon with a light bulb in it.
So if the window's over there, it would make sense to move your desk over there so you can take advantage of it.
Marking one area off as a closet, another area off as actual office area. I think will make my life a lot easier and work a lot easier.
There is so much space here, we can really optimize the space that we have left.
I have my space, he has his side, and it's kind of defined. We leave a little gap there so he knows where his clothes begin and end, which is not a lot.
And where are you getting your power from?
Well, of course, it's a closet, so there's no electricals in here. We're actually running an extension cord to power all the gear.
Oh,
so you're intruding on the bathroom too then. With that.
We are.
Well, luckily that's his side, so it doesn't bother me as much.
So the plan is to make the right side of the space a more efficient closet and the left side a dedicated office. Let's start on this side over here.
Okay.
So I knew we had to clear the left side of the closet out first because I was anxious to get started on that window.
You just like putting holes in things.
The key when you're moving something like this is to let the other person walk backwards. That worked just right for me.
I'll remember that for next time.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there a technique to the way you're hanging these, or is it just?
Okay, so
are you doing the thing where you?
The ones that are hanging this way are the ones that I haven't worn this year. So at the end of the year,
should we keep track? Maybe we'll get rid of them. No, we're not ready for that.
not ready for that.
Too much change at once.
Yeah.
I get it. Totally get it.
Doing too much right now, Chelsea.
I get it. I get it.
One of my kids got me this shirt, and it says, "Don't make me use my teacher voice." It goes a little bit like this.
Does it include eyes?
It does. Once I put my face on, then they know I mean business.
Is it similar to your mom voice?
No.
No, it's different. Oof, oof.
I can raise my voice at home. I can't raise my voice at school.
I heard someone the other day talking about how long their commute to work was.
Yeah.
And yours is what?
30
From there
seconds.
to there, 30 seconds?
If he's running late, he can just change his clothes while he's at his desk.
I know it. You know, I don't think I've ever actually installed wire shelving, because who wants it?
No.
Yeah. Let me feed you this. That way if you hit your walls, those are your walls. That was wrong, my bad.
We will not miss the wire shelves.
Putty knives come in many different sizes, and they're great for spreading and applying all kinds of materials, including joint compound, putties, glues, auto body filler, caulk, of course, and in this case I'm going to be using it to spread some wood filler in this knot hole. But if you don't clean the putty knife after every single use, it doesn't take long before it ends up looking like this. All right, the material will dry on there and you have to grind it or scrape it off. So to avoid that, all you need is some packing tape. This happens to be 2-inch wide packing tape. Pull off a piece, long enough to go around the blade. You don't have to cover the entire blade, but at least more than half of it. Press it down. Of course, you have to do the other side. What I like to do is fold a little tab on one end. That just makes it easier to remove the tape when you're done. Now, you can go and apply the wood filler. You can see, you got some putty on the knife, but to clean it, all you need to do is peel off the tape. And there you go. Perfectly clean, good as new.
We're helping Anthony and Renee convert their master closet into a closet home office combo, or cloffice. While Chelsea fills holes in the drywall from the old shelving, I'm laying out the location for a new window into the space. So this will give you some perspective as to the shape and size of the window. That upper line is where I'm cutting the drywall out, so I've got to put some framing in there for the header.
What's the purpose of having a header in a retrofitted window like this?
Well, when you have that much space, even though it's only 3 foot, you could actually have a sag in that part of the roof if you didn't support it with that horizontal header to support everything up above it. And I've seen people where they didn't put it in later on, they had a lot of work to do.
Oof.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks
All
good.
right. Well, we're fixing to cut that open and get the cold air blowing in here. So
Okay.
You know, it really doesn't matter what we do inside that closet. To make it look more like an office, it's still going to feel very closed in without a window. The window is going to make a big difference. Anytime you're making a blind cut into drywall like this, it's a good idea to go slow, because you never know what you might find inside the wall. I see you looking at that line there.
Yeah, is that a water pipe there?
Yeah, it's PEX water line, and fortunately it's flexible. Hopefully the plumber left me a little bit of room there that I can move it that far without having to make you break out those plumber tools.
Okay.
So, and then we've got this, which goes to that sewer grinding pump out there.
Right.
That's why I was so careful in cutting it. I wanted to make sure I didn't cut into it. But I think that's far enough over there, see, because I needed to put a little piece of wood there anyway, so I think we're going to be good on that. But if that's the worst thing that happens all day, we got it made. While Anthony and I are framing the new window for the office, Chelsea and Renee are getting ready to customize the closet side of the room.
Oftentimes in closets, the corners are kind of wasted space if you have a hanging rod, because you don't want to put your clothes over there, you won't be able to see it. So what we're going to do here is build some shelves in the corner for sweaters, jeans, and be able to stack things, but also in between the shelving units we'll have our hanging space.
I told Chelsea when she was cutting that wood that she was gonna have to pay for my weave because she got sawdust in my weave and I didn't know how I was gonna get it out.
Ouch! Stop!
Just kidding.
Stop! Stealing a page out of Dad's playbook? Come on. You gotta wait. You can't use that joke when you're so far away. You gotta wait till you're closer. So hopefully there'll be enough room for like jeans and kind of some of the clothes that y'all had on the top shelf at first. See, that would have been the time to make your joke. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Once Anthony and I get the header, sides, and bottom of the window opening frame, we cut through the wall sheathing to reveal the backside of the exterior brick wall. It just kind of makes you think of all those prison movies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're breaking out of prison.
Breaking out of his work prison.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
After I finished using the hammer drill, I mentioned to Renee we should get one of those.
We do not need any more tools. Have you seen our garage?
I don't suspect I'll be putting any holes in any walls anytime soon though, so I think she's safe there.
With holes drilled in the four corners, we mark the outline of the opening on the outside, so I can cut through the mortar joints and chisel out the brick. We need to reuse some of these bricks, so Anthony chips away the old mortar while I help Chelsea and Renee install those corner cabinets. I mean, why do we even need to check? Why do we even need to check?
Luxury vinyl plank flooring is very popular right now, and I think it is a great DIY project. And I have a good option for you if you're in the market to do this project. This is LifeProof. Now, it is 100% waterproof, and it comes in these wide planks, but I think what sets this apart is what's going on underneath. Now, look at this isocore underlayment. And what this does is it absorbs all of the sound, so when you walk across it, you don't get that really thin, tinny sound. Also, it's reinforced though, so it's really sturdy. You can put this over concrete or even your existing old tile, linoleum, or hardwood. With that rigid core, it's not gonna mirror what the old floor did, whether if you had peaks or valleys. This is gonna just go straight over the top, and it's gonna even out the look of your floor. It's very easy to put down. You just drop it, snap it, and lock it into place, and you're good to go. So now you can make your DIY floor look like a professional did it.
After one day of work, we've made a great start converting Anthony and Renee's closet into a closet office combo. While I'm outside cutting plywood for the floating shelves, Chelsea and Anthony are working on a custom addition for the closet area.
All right, Anthony, we have the shelves in the corners going on for sweaters and jeans and maybe some purses, but I think we need some custom shoe shelves instead of the store-bought ones you had. I've used store-bought shoe racks before and they just never work. My shoes always fall off of them. So we're gonna correct that issue for Anthony and Renee by building a bookshelf out of 12-inch shelf boards. They're just gonna be shelves, but they're gonna be more narrow so you can get more in. Okay. So maybe Renee will let you have one shelf, I don't know. It'll be deep enough for the shoes, and the sides will contain the shoes and give us the custom look that we're really going for in this closet. But also it'll serve as a support right here for the clothes racks that we're gonna put in right here, the closet rods.
Okay, and how do we decide how wide to...
Make them where it's 2 pairs of shoes wide. Build it outside and then we'll install it.
The shoe rack looks amazing. I think it's gonna give Renee a lot of space. Hopefully I'll get a few shelves to put my shoes on as well.
Well, I stole a trick from your playbook, Dad.
Oh, I know which one. I saw Anthony walking backwards when you guys were bringing the shelf in. You gotta be the first one to grab it and say, grab your end.
So you don't laugh in their face, that's just rude.
When Bear arrives with a new window for the office, we secure it to the framing and seal the perimeter. Then he begins cutting bricks and piecing them back in around the window. Okay, I'm ready to show you something here now. You've been in this closet for all this time without any light. I think you're gonna need some sunscreen here.
Wow. Without the window, I spent a lot of time finding an excuse to get a snack or get a drink or something just to get out into the rest of the living space. I think with that window that's there now, I probably won't do that as much.
That's awesome.
That does bring in a lot of light.
While I install a few pieces of drywall around the window and get some joint compound on them, Bear installs an outlet for the desk. Then Anthony helps me put the edge band on the desktop. You know, I've been using really good glue like Tite Bond for a long time. Anytime you're putting 2 pieces of wood together, especially like an edge band, you know it's gonna be stronger and you can use fewer nails.
Yeah, and it'll look a lot cleaner when it's done. It's time to get everything prepped and ready for painting. So I have a little trick for you if you want to get that sponge to clean up all of the drywall compound. When you're only patching little holes like we have here, this is a neat way to keep all of the texture. Because if you had this and you sanded it down, you'd sand the texture and then you'd have a big flat spot, which would be pretty obvious.
I actually like the sponge better just because it doesn't create so much dust. It's less cleanup. It's easier to use, that's for sure.
You know, I love building little floating shelves like this, and it'll look so good above Anthony's desk here. So here's what I've done. I've taken a 2x4, and out of that I've ripped 1.5 inches by 1 inch, and then these will serve as the cleats for the shelves. And then they've been glued and screwed into place here. And then I built the hollow shelves outside, and they're all finished on the front, and that way they will simply slip right on just like that after they're stained, and that's the next step.
Are you excited about what it's gonna look like?
Oh yeah.
What do you think we got for homework?
Painting.
Painting's my jam.
Chloe, what are you doing over here?
Painting.
I know now why my kids don't like homework.
Yeah, painting the shelves and the shoe rack definitely didn't seem like too daunting a task, but by the time you get to all the corners and in and out of every cubby, it took a lot of time. It was definitely a lot of work.
But yeah, the kids enjoyed it. You know, we let them help out a little bit, especially Mackenzie, and Gavin painted a couple of shelves.
Our 3-year-old got the chance to roll on some of the paint onto the shelves, and our youngest one, our 1-year-old, she actually stuck her hand into the paint bucket too.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't eat it.
You don't normally think of having a fun light fixture in a closet, but since this is also going to be Anthony's office, we do want a little bit of fun with the light fixture. We already have all of the light coming in from the new window, but this fixture with a lot of bulbs is also going to provide a lot more light for them.
Chelsea Sponge Trick works great for small drywall holes, but for larger patches, we need to create some texture. I found out a long time ago with just a little piece of carpet and a little joint compound, you can play with it a little bit and mimic the texture that's around it. It makes the patches disappear. After some touch-up painting, we're ready to mount the floating shelves, set the base for the desk, and finally put the desktop in place. You know, your idea to introduce some stained wood, just a little bit of it, over on the office side seemed to make so much sense. A little separation, but it still flowed together really well.
Right, they're still sharing the same room, but changing up the materials changes up the feel of the space.
I like it. Although it had lots of space, Anthony and Renee's closet was a room full of compromise. As a closet, it was pretty plain and basic, offering the bare minimum to organize their clothes. As an office, it was tiny, cramped, and offered little or no visual interest outside the clothes hanging around the desk. Now, it's a beautiful planned space with 2 distinct uses, both of which are a lot more effective than before. The closet space is much more efficient with the addition of the double hanging rods and the corner shelving units. The new shoe rack not only does its job better, it adds a feeling of simple, clean organization to the room. On the office side of the room, the warm wood desk and floating shelves signal a different purpose for this area, while they offer ample space for Anthony to work and organize the things he needs to do his job. The new light fixture and the new window improve the lighting for both areas and make the whole space seem more like something to be enjoyed than endured. And we did it all for less than $1,000 in materials.
My new desk is awesome. There's definitely a lot more space. It gives me the ability to be a lot more functional. It makes me a lot more productive for sure. Being able to glance out that window every now and then, really honestly, it's prevented me from getting up out of my chair too often. So, less snacks.
Less snacks. I like the fact that you can actually see the difference between him having an office and our closet.
It still is a closet at the end of the day, and if we were ever to sell the house, we wouldn't hurt the value of the house.
The closet looks wonderful. We can see what we have, and everything's not so jam-packed in, so at least I can see now what I'm wearing. What I haven't worn. Maybe throw it out. Maybe.
Well, I guess I added a new word to my vocabulary, cloffice. But you know, it really makes sense if you have a large enough closet like that you can use for both a home office and a closet. It worked well for Anthony and Renee. Now, we'll hope we've been able to share with you a few things that you can use if you're thinking of reorganizing a closet. You can see how easy it is to customize that space just for your needs. Or you may need a home office, or you may need a cloffice. Hey, thanks so much for being with Chelsea and me here on today's Homeowner. We'll see you next week.
You want to do all that, I'll work on getting this caulked. because caulk and paint make a carpenter what she ain't.
Okay.